Hello random people, I'm Super Lit, and welcome back to another episode of our Unnamed series. Today we're gonna continue building farms for our Plants Farms project. And before we do that, I have to explain some things to you. So, I didn't exactly mention what those plant farms were gonna be. I mean, I was just building them for most of the time, and I didn't exactly specify what kinds of farms I wouldn't build, so I guess I have to finally tell you which ones I'm not gonna build. Now, I don't think there are that many farms that are not gonna make it to the Plants Farms project. For example, I'm not gonna make a grass farm, but there are some farms that you would have expected to make it to here, but are not gonna be actually made in this Plants Farms project. Those are the kelp farms, actually, I don't think I think that's the only farm, actually. It's just because it's more of a sea farm more than a plant farm, so if I ever decide to build a sea farms project, then I'm definitely not gonna make it for quite a while. So no, the kelp farm isn't actually gonna be here. Yeah, I do remember when I said that it would make it to here, but not anymore. And well, I guess I can also tell you what farms we still have to build. And those are two more flower farms, the moss farm, the Bonemeal farm, which is probably gonna be a moss farm with composters tied to it, the vines farm, and the tree farm. After all of those plant farms that we've built so far, those are the last 5 farms we have to build. Well, I think I can put all of those farms except for the tree farm on this episode, and the 3 farms goes for the next episode. So without any further ado, let's start the episode. So the first farms we're gonna build are gonna be the 2 more flower farms. And you might be wondering, Super, didn't we already build all of those flower farms already on the first episode of the Plants Farms project? And yes, I did. However, I did exclude some flowers, being one of them the cornflower, the other being the lily of the valley, and I think the last one is the one on the swamp. That is not gonna be one of those I'm gonna build because, I don't know, it just feels like I would have to travel a lot just to get to that farm anyways. Therefore, the cornflower and the lily of the valley farms are gonna be the next ones we're gonna build. Now you might also be wondering where I'm gonna build those farms. And well, let me show you. Welcome to my test world, which I don't actually use that much. I think everything I did here was use it for the flower farms, and if you watched that episode, you might remember those squares, and yeah, this is where I was just a moment ago that you've seen, and well, you can already see that there's something that wasn't there before. Yep, those are gonna be the 2 areas where we're gonna build the 2 farms. This one's gonna be the cornflower farm, and this one's gonna be the lily farm. And I know I should have built those farms before, but I didn't actually think that the cornflower really deserved the farm, and I didn't know the lily of the valley still spawned because I just couldn't find an area for the lily of the valley near that area, and I really tried actually. I remember even finding a patch on my actual world where I found a lily there, but the spawn of that block was actually of another plant, so I was kind of confused and decided to not work on the lily. But turns out Minecraft just decided to change the spawn of the flowers in between versions, so yeah, kinda confusing, but I finally managed to find out about it, and I'm now gonna make a farm for those flowers. Of course, you can also see that they are very far away from all the others, which means that probably all the farms I'm gonna build for the rest of the Plant Farms project are gonna be probably near this area. Yeah, let's go back to my actual world. Welcome back! And of course, now we just have to dig a whole new area for this part of the corridor. So our new area should look something like this. And also, yes, I have 4 different barrels here, all containing all the items that I just dug out and brought here, because yes, I am that lazy. God, I really need to make a storage room someday. Anyways, we have this area open here, and also the 2 areas where we're gonna build to the farms, and we can just build to the farms. And also probably decorate this place too, because yeah, just for a good measure. So let's get working! And the cauliflower and the lily flower farms are done. Also, don't mind the chests, I was really too lazy to put them somewhere else, but I'm gonna see where I'm gonna put them later. But for now, let me show you how the farm works, which is exactly the same as the other flower farms. It's really just 3 repeaters like this, with 2 with 1 level and 1 with 4 levels, a piston and another preserver, and a line of redstone that powers a dispenser with the Bonemeal, and this one is gonna dispense the water. Yeah, it's pretty simple stuff, and I also have another sorter for all the items that come here. But this is essentially just the other flower farms, but in another place. Also, fun fact, this area of the base is just on a slime chunk, as you can see by this little slime jumping around. It doesn't hurt the farm because, well, the slime can't die and it can't drop the slime balls. And it really doesn't affect anything. The only problem is that I'm probably gonna run into slime jumping around, but I guess this is what I get for building an underground base. Anyways, I guess the next farm we have to build is the... maybe the moss farm? Yeah, maybe the moss farm. So I believe I'm gonna build 2 moss farms, because one of them is gonna be for the moss and other items that are moss related, and the other one is gonna be for the Bonemeal farm, which, considering that I've just built another farm that uses Bonemeal, yeah, I very much need this one. So let's waste no time and get rid of this wall. We have this area open, and I don't really know if this is enough because I don't even know how to build a moss farm to begin with. But first we have to get all the items we need to make the farm. Okay, so these are all the items we're gonna need. I think, at least. So first, let me just put the area where we are gonna see the farm working, because I want to see the farm working properly, because it's just cool, I guess. And here we're gonna put 5 hoppers with 4 pointing to the one to the middle and 1 like this. I think I can do the opposite actually, because the storage room is gonna be on this side, so like this. And like this. Okay, now let's dig some of this area so we can walk. And let's already put 2 composters. 1 here and 1 here. Now we're gonna put some moss blocks like this. Now before we continue, I just want to make sure that I know what I'm doing. Okay, again. Okay, it goes all the way to here, so it's in the right place. So before we continue, I have to explain how this farm works. The moss is gonna grow every time the Bonemeal dispenses from the dispenser, and most of the items that come from the moss farm actually are gonna become Bonemeal for the farm itself, and they are gonna come from this composter to the dispenser again. So now I have to bring all the composters that come from here with hoppers, and I believe I have to put a dropper here too, just to put it 1 block higher for the dispenser. Yeah, it's so simple, really simple, like this. And I also have to add a detector just so it activates when there's Bonemeal on the dropper. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the Bonemeal restocking is already done. Now we just have to work with the rest of the farm. And now let me put some trapdoors, because this is how we are gonna break some of the grass and some of the other moss blocks like moss carpets and azalea trees. So let me just put it here, and here, and here, like this. And if I'm right, if I put this trapdoor down, the water is gonna flow. Next we have to build the stone generator, and not the cobblestone generator, because the cobblestone doesn't turn into moss and just the stone. So we have to build it. Wow, I have to break more of this wall. Anyways, the stone generator is very simple. We just come here and we have to add a stone slab like this, a water bucket. Let's get more water. No, not like this. Oh no. Ooh. Anyways, now we put 2 other water buckets like this, and the other like this. Now in front of these areas we can put the pistons like this. No, you're wrong. And this, and let's get the last one like this. Now we have to add to the lava, which is gonna be right above the water, like 2 blocks above the water. Okay, now we can put to the lava bucket. Wait a second, I also have to add this too. Okay. Okay. Okay, now all of that must have turned into stone. Probably. Next, we have to add a timer for the pistons to turn up and for the dispenser to activate and drop Bonemeal on this farm. Okay, so let's add 5 repeaters here with 4 on the level 4 and 1 has to be on level 3. So something like this. Now we can add redstone dust here, like so. And now for the timer for the dispenser. Yeah, so now we just have to rotate the detector that we've just built, like this. And now we add a timer, which really is just this, and this too. However, we also have to bring this timer for the water part there, and also the farm's already working, kind of. So let's be really fast with this. So let me see how this works, because this is one of the things that I didn't actually test on my test world. Let's see if this somehow works. Yeah, okay, I had to figure something out here. Okay, I managed to make this work. Oh, I love when I do that. Anyways, we have 3 different timers. One of them is a timer for the pistons to activate and push the stones to destroy the moss and just add more stone for the moss to grow into. We also have this timer for the dispenser with the Bonemeal, but this timer also activates another shorter timer which activates the trapdoors. I guess everything we have to do now is to build the walls of the farm and also the storage of the farm. Yeah. Okay, there we go, another farm built, and of course more parts of this area decorated. These decorations also stop some slimes from spawning in this area, which is also really helpful. But we're here for the farm, and before we continue, I just have to tell you that I kind of messed up the farm when I built it, because I've put a composter on this block here instead of another hopper, and it was making Bonemeal instead of bringing all the moss blocks to those chests, which means that I accidentally made this the Bonemeal farm, but I already fixed it. It's already back to being a moss farm. So when I turn this farm on, we can see that it just works properly. Yeah, properly. It's already working. Right? Yeah, it's working. Now, I'm gonna let it run for a while just because I want to farm some of these blocks too. Now, I guess we have to build the next one, which is gonna be the Bonemeal farm. So let's get working! Well, here's the Bonemeal farm. What? You're thinking really gonna show me building the same farm again? No, really, it's just that farm but with an extra composter, like the mistake that I made there before. It's intentional here. And there are some Bonemeal here already, because I've started the farm already. Oh, whatever, let's get working on our next and final farm of today, which is gonna be the Vine farm. And at this point, it's pretty obvious that this farm is gonna be around this area here, or maybe not. I really don't know how big this farm is gonna be, because vine farms tend to be really big sometimes. And for the items that we need to build this farm, I think I have everything except for one item: ice. This means that we need to get some of those ice blocks, and you just don't find them laying around everywhere, so and okay, taiga biome. So now that we are here, we have to go back home because I forgot to bring the water buckets and the blocks. And also let me put the armor again because I'm going to the nether. Okay, we're back. Now, I was planning on building a really tall tower and put the water there so we could freeze because the taiga is a cold biome, but according to Junk Base, there's a grove biome nearby, so I believe we can just go there instead. And by the way, I may have accidentally found one of those ruins or something that I forgot the name of, so yeah, it's cool to just know that there's something that I can explore later here. Okay, we're here on the grove biome, and also there are already some ice blocks that we can get, so let's just already go there. Oh, actually, this is not even the growth biome anymore, it's the frozen peaks. Now, we don't need that many ice blocks, you know, maybe just like a stack or so. But ice is kind of very useful for some more other things aside from the vine farms, so why can't we get some more of them? Like, for example, okay, 14 stacks sounds good enough, I believe. So yeah, I believe we can go back home now. And with that, I believe we can already start building the farm. So just wait a second and... yeah, that's a really big hole. You can even see the sorter from the other flower farms. Thankfully, it's not that big that it messes with that and anything else, which means that we can just build the farm here. Now, I want to build this farm, at least some of it, like right now as I speak, because I don't know, maybe making a time-lapse would be good, but I also want to explain some things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. We need 15 blocks like this. So the way this farm works is there's gonna be a water source that's gonna lead me to here, and then to there, and then to there, and then to there, and then to here again. So I'm gonna put some andesite slabs here just to make this look nicer, because I really don't want stone to be the floor of this farm. So I think it's not gonna take a while, but maybe if I have to cut something from the video, I can just do that. But I think I'm almost very close to just ending this already. Oops, I messed it up. So, like this. Yeah, like this. Okay. So, this is also where the ice comes into place because, well, first of all, we shouldn't use the regular ice because it would melt. Thankfully, the frozen peaks just has packed ice, so we don't have to turn it into something else. I think we should put the first packed ice here. Before we put the water, I have to break all of this too, because we have to put something very important here. So we need to put some trapdoors here just because, well, we have to go through the water stream like this, and there are gonna be 3 rows of vines just hanging here, and I'm gonna use a shear to get all of them, because you can only get vines with shears, and that's why you need the player for this farm to work. And now all we have to do is put the water like this, and it also turns the concrete powder into concrete, so yeah, that's nice. Now we have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe like this. I don't exactly remember, but if I go here and put a sign like this, it should be good. But before we continue with the water, I just want to already put the vines, and also I want to use jungle logs just because it looks nicer. Like, come on, it's vines and jungle trees have vines, so why can't I use logs? Anyways, let's put the vines like this. We also have to put vines on the other side of the logs too. I think this is pretty much all I had to explain for now for this farm, so let's just start the time lapse and I'll come back when I have to explain something else. Okay, we have the first part of this farm done. You can see that we can enter here, I can get to the shears, and then we come here and start the farming. And by the way, this farm isn't actually working yet because we still need to put the water currents to bring the vines all the way to a storage part. But that's not gonna take too long actually, we can just put the storage part here. And one more thing that we have to do later that is related to the shears. But for now, the vine storage. Let's get working on that. Well, there we go! The vine farm is almost complete. We have these are the water streams that leads to the storage wall, and finally we have the storage wall itself with, well, already some vines here because I had to test this farm. Yeah, that's almost it for this farm. I can just go here, use the shears, and, well, you can see them just being dragged around, and it works. The problem is that shears usually have this thing that they do that is called breaking, and well, when the shears break, it's gonna be impossible to get to the vines, so we have to do something about that. That's why I put this pressure plate here, because this is where we're gonna get the shears, and I'm gonna explain why. Let's put a dropper here, because here is where we're gonna get the shears. So essentially, I'll fill my entire inventory with vines, and one slot's gonna be for the shears. So I'm gonna come here. When I enter this farm, I'm gonna activate this trapdoor. That's gonna drop another sear. However, if I still have sears, the other one's gonna come to a hopper that's gonna bring it all the way back to the dropper. And this is gonna continue until my sears break. In this case, I'm gonna collect the sears instead of it going to the hopper. And because this farm is all about AFK in here, this is pretty much gonna work automatically as long as I am inside of the farm. So first let's see what happens when I go through the pressure plate. So I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna go here, and it comes like almost immediately. Now I think I can already put the hopper here, because it doesn't really matter that much. I also have to put another dropper, so I can lead the sears back to here. So like this. Now let's bring it here and done. That's it. Now of course we also have to add something else. We have to add a comparator, repeater. Now we just have to add some redstone dust here, and something like this seems good enough, I guess. And we just have to do one more thing, that is bringing the sears to here. For that we have to add a chest where we put the sears, and a minecart's gonna bring it all the way to there. This is pretty much the same as when I had to bring the Bonemeal to those dispensers on the sniffer farm from the last episode. So if you did watch that one, then you probably already know that's not gonna be that complicated. Now the dropper should be around here. Okay, now let's break some of these blocks. Let's put the detector rail here. We have to put a rail here. Now we break this and put this. Now we break some of this. Okay, I don't have more powered rail, so this has to work. Well, of course it's gonna work. Okay, now we have to add a redstone comparator. Come here, put a redstone torch. And if I do this and this... Okay, let's add also a torch here just to illuminate this. And I'm also gonna put a minecart here, like so. Now everything I have to do is just to close this and then maybe decorate this area, and then that's gonna be it. We are gonna be finished. And for the decoration, we're gonna be done right now. Yeah, I know, there's a lot of things going on here. But first, I had to change some things because this was actually wrong. First, because it was comparing this dropper and not this one. And second, because it was not even working, because when it loaded completely, it just stopped. But I also added this. So this is kind of a very interesting properties of comparators, in which when there's another signal that is going on their side, the signal that they get from behind gets lowered or something. But anyways, this is just so it activates the piston when everything's loaded, just so the minecart doesn't run infinitely if there's any items here. But anyways, that was the only thing I had to fix. Aside from that, everything is just normal decoration stuff, and maybe this thing here that I have a plan for it, but I don't have the item that I want to use for this part here, so for now it's gonna be a secret. And with that, all the farms that we have to build now are Oh, it's just the tree farm. I guess we are just ending the plant farms project after the tree farm then. Now, I don't know exactly if I'm gonna build the tree farm in the next episode, because the new version just released, and I really want to explore the new things that this version is bringing into, and you know, maybe do something about the trial chambers. But anyways, I believe that's pretty much all I had to do for this episode. But before we end this video, let's turn on all of the farms that we've built today. Maybe not those ones. Anyways, thanks for watching, see you next time, and have a good day. Bye! Why is there an orange tulip here? Now, maybe it was an enderman or something. I don't think that enderman can pick flowers. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, see you next time, and have a good day. Bye!